Did you know Tesla makes 8 times the profits that Toyota makes per car due to its production process? Well, that's got the bosses at Toyota concerned, and here's how they're planning to solve the problem.
Imagine the moment everything changed. The world's most famous disruptor, caught off guard by an underdog quietly playing the game better. Elon Musk's empire is built on speed, risk, and revolution. But what if the real disruptor isn't the one chasing headlines, but the one quietly perfecting every move in the shadows? That's exactly what Toyota's been doing. While Tesla rushed ahead with flashy innovations, Toyota sat back and then hit them with something the world never saw coming: a new strategy, a smarter strategy, and it's dismantling Tesla's dominance one quiet move at a time. What did Toyota know that Tesla missed? How did a traditional automaker pull off the perfect storm? And why is Tesla's reign suddenly looking more fragile than ever? What's happening? Before it was the world's largest automaker, before it became synonymous with reliability and efficiency, Toyota was just a small offshoot of a loom company in Japan. Founded in 1937 by Kiichiro Toyota, the company began not with power or prestige, but with necessity. Japan's automotive market at the time was underdeveloped, choked by imports and dominated by Western giants. Toyota's early cars were basic, underpowered, and often mocked by foreign critics. But behind the humble frames and minimal designs, something was brewing: an obsession with process. That obsession would become the Toyota Production System, or TPS. Developed through the 1950s and 60s, TPS wasn't just a new way to build cars. It was a philosophy. It emphasized waste elimination, just-in-time inventory, and continuous improvement. It viewed each worker not as a cog, but as an intelligent operator capable of identifying and solving problems. The results were stunning. Toyota could build cars faster, cheaper, and more reliably than almost anyone on Earth. American automakers flew teams to Japan just to study Toyota's assembly lines. What they saw was shocking: flawless production with almost no errors. Toyota's discipline extended beyond its factories. While others chased quarterly profits and media buzz, Toyota played the long game. It invested billions into research and development. It moved slowly but deliberately. It tested new technologies for years before releasing them to the public. That caution was often mistaken for cowardice. It wasn't. It was control. And as electric vehicle hype began to rise in the 2010s, Toyota didn't panic. It waited. It watched. It kept refining. While Tesla captured headlines, Toyota captured data. While Elon made promises, Toyota made prototypes. The media called Toyota slow, but inside its tech centers in Aichi and Toyota City, the next automotive revolution was already under construction. And while Toyota was mastering efficiency, a different kind of force was rising in Silicon Valley: Elon Musk's rise and his first betrayal. When Elon Musk took the reins of Tesla in the early 2000s, he wasn't just launching a company, he was launching a cultural rebellion. In an industry defined by legacy, unions, and incremental change, Musk offered speed, vision, and spectacle. Tesla didn't just sell cars, it sold the future. And Musk was the face of it: charismatic, erratic, and endlessly quotable. He understood that in the internet age, attention was currency. And he was a billionaire. Tesla's rise was meteoric. The Roadster was niche but thrilling. The Model S rewrote luxury. The Model 3 brought performance to the masses. While competitors hesitated, Musk surged forward. He mocked rivals, dismissed hybrids as half measures, and cast gasoline engines as relics of a dirty past. The press followed his every move. Investors flocked. Tesla became the most valuable car company on the planet, even while delivering fewer vehicles than companies like Honda or Ford. But beneath the bombast, there was tension. In 2010, Tesla and Toyota formed an unlikely partnership. Toyota invested $50 million in Tesla and agreed to co-develop an electric RAV4. For a moment, the future seemed cooperative, but the relationship soured quickly. Toyota executives were skeptical of Elon's timelines and promises. Tesla engineers found Toyota's bureaucracy suffocating. Within 4 years, the partnership dissolved. The co-developed RAV4 EV faded into obscurity. And behind that collapse was a deeper conflict: two visions of progress. Musk believed in speed, disruption, and reinvention. Toyota believed in testing, reliability, and scale. To Musk, Toyota was a dinosaur. To Toyota, Musk was a gambler. That broken partnership would set off a decade-long race neither company could afford to lose: the EV fork in the road. In the years that followed, the contrast between the two companies became stark. Tesla doubled down on electric vehicles, expanding production, building gigafactories, and launching new models with aggressive timelines. Musk's vision was clear: gas was dead, and lithium-ion was king. The world, he claimed, would be fully electric within a decade. Many believed him. Toyota wasn't so sure. Instead of rushing to match Tesla's full electrification, Toyota chose a dual-path strategy: hybrids and hydrogen. The Prius remained the company's green flagship, refined over years into a near-perfect balance of efficiency and reliability. Meanwhile, Toyota quietly invested in fuel cell technology, believing that hydrogen could solve many of the problems lithium-ion couldn't: charging speed, range, and raw material sustainability. We unpacked Toyota's entire EV playbook so you don't have to. If that's worth something to you, hit subscribe. The media mocked Toyota's hesitancy. Analysts warned the company risked falling behind. While Tesla made headlines, Toyota made refinements. While Musk launched cars on stage with shattered windows, Toyota tested next-generation powertrains in remote labs. The EV community labeled Toyota outdated. But Toyota wasn't building buzz. It was building leverage. And when the cracks began to show, it was Toyota's caution that suddenly looked prophetic. The EV lie no one wants to talk about. The promise of electric vehicles has been wrapped in a neat little package of hope, sustainability, and progress. No emissions, lower fuel costs, instant torque. All of it sounded perfect, and for a while it was easy to believe. But beneath the surface of the electric revolution lies a fundamental problem that no one wants to talk about. Batteries, specifically lithium-ion batteries, are not the miracle tech they are often portrayed to be. In fact, they may be the very thing that derails the future they were meant to power. The heart of every electric vehicle is its battery. Without it, the car does not move, charge, or perform. But unlike gasoline engines that can last for hundreds of thousands of miles with proper maintenance, lithium-ion batteries degrade over time, and faster than most consumers realize. After just 8 to 10 years, many EV batteries can lose between 10 and 20% of their original capacity. That may not sound catastrophic until you are stuck recharging every 100 miles in a car that used to go 300. Owners have begun to notice. Complaints are surfacing about declining range, especially in colder climates or after multiple years of daily charging. Some Tesla owners have reported drops of 50 miles or more in usable range within just 3 or 4 years. And then comes the cost. Replacing a lithium-ion battery pack in a Tesla Model S or Model X can run between $10,000 and $20,000. That is more than the price of a used Corolla. Then there is the ecological cost. While electric vehicles are often hailed as clean transportation, the extraction of the materials needed to make their batteries tells a different story. Lithium, cobalt, and nickel are not just rare. They are also environmentally destructive to mine. In the Democratic Republic of the Congo, cobalt mining has been linked to child labor and severe worker exploitation. In South America, lithium extraction is causing water shortages and ecological collapse in salt-flat regions like Salar de Uyuni. It takes approximately 500,000 gallons of water to mine 1 ton of lithium. That is not sustainable. It is catastrophic. Even the recycling problem remains unsolved. Most EV batteries are not designed to be easily recycled. When they degrade, many are simply stored or dumped, raising the risk of chemical leaks and fire hazards. For a technology meant to usher in a cleaner future, that is a troubling reality. Toyota saw all of this coming. While Tesla rushed forward, betting everything on large-scale lithium-ion deployment, Toyota kept its focus on reducing battery strain. Their hybrid models use smaller battery packs that endure longer because they work in conjunction with gasoline engines. Less heat, less charging stress, and fewer material requirements. It is not just smart engineering, it is sustainable strategy. And while the world kept believing the hype, Toyota quietly built the fix. Solid-state shock, Toyota's secret weapon. Whispers of solid-state battery technology echoed through the automotive world, like science fiction for a long time. A battery that charges in 10 minutes. A battery that does not degrade over time. A battery that is safer, smaller, lighter, and most importantly, cheaper. Automakers talked about it. Startups teased prototypes. Investors poured billions into research. But only one company has managed to actually turn the dream into something real: Toyota. Toyota's breakthrough in solid-state battery tech has been more than a decade in the making. Their engineers, working in near-complete secrecy, solved one of the most stubborn problems in energy storage, replacing the flammable liquid electrolyte found in lithium-ion batteries with a solid material. The result is a battery that is far less likely to catch fire, charges up to 5 times faster, and lasts for hundreds of thousands of miles without significant capacity loss. According to Toyota's internal testing, their new solid-state batteries can charge from 0 to 80% in under 10 minutes. They are capable of delivering longer range than any current Tesla model, and they maintain that performance for years. No range anxiety, no surprise degradation, no 5-figure replacement bills looming on the horizon. This was the card Toyota played in that now infamous meeting with Elon Musk. And it was not just the specs that shocked the Tesla team. It was the timeline. Toyota plans to begin production on solid-state battery vehicles as early as 2027, with working prototypes already undergoing road tests in Japan and California. This is not theoretical anymore. This is imminent. What makes this so disruptive is not just the technology, it is who is delivering it. Toyota is not a scrappy startup. It is the most experienced, resource-rich, and methodical automaker on the planet. When they say they are ready, they mean it. Solid-state changes everything. It removes Tesla's biggest technical advantage. It breaks the back of the charging speed argument. It eliminates the battery degradation debate. And it does all of it while using fewer rare earth materials, making it not just smarter, but more ethical. For Tesla, this is a nightmare scenario. They cannot pivot to solid state quickly. Their entire infrastructure is built around lithium-ion. Factories, supply chains, battery architecture. Rebuilding that takes years. Toyota already did it. And that is when Elon realized the tables had turned. Tesla's house of cracks. Once upon a time, Tesla was untouchable. The brand wasn't just ahead, it was invincible. Elon Musk could announce a product with no delivery date, and people would still buy the stock. He could delay a launch by 3 years, and customers would still put down deposits. But that magic? It's fading fast. Tesla is no longer the only game in town. And more importantly, its promises are starting to backfire. The most obvious crack is the Cybertruck. Announced in the year 2019, it looked like something from a sci-fi movie. Sharp edges, bulletproof panels, a steel body with angular madness. But now, more than 5 years later, the truck is still not widely available. Production delays, design changes, and regulatory holdups have made it more of a meme than a model. And the few units that have shipped are facing quality issues, from faulty door seals to software glitches. The Roadster, still not in mass production. The Tesla Semi, minimal output. Full self-driving, still unreliable despite Elon's repeated promises since the year 2016 that full autonomy was just around the corner. Meanwhile, Toyota's vehicles remain what they have always been: predictable, polished, and problem-free. Tesla once laughed at that. Now consumers are reconsidering what boring means, especially when it saves them thousands and works without drama. And then came the move that hit Tesla where it hurts: price. The price war that broke the spell. It started as a shock. Toyota revealed an electric vehicle priced at just $13,000. Not a scooter, not a golf cart, a full-size sport utility vehicle. And just like that, the entire EV pricing model collapsed. For years, consumers believed electric vehicles had to be expensive. Tesla leaned into that narrative, positioning itself as a luxury tech brand with minimalist interiors and premium pricing. But Toyota shattered that illusion with one bold move. This new model was not a stripped-down economy car. It had a spacious cabin, advanced driver assistance features, and a digital display system that rivaled vehicles twice its price. The goal was not just to sell cars, it was to break the psychological wall around affordability. And it worked. Overnight, social media exploded. Headlines screamed. Consumers who had once dismissed EVs as out of reach were now reconsidering. Tesla's response was immediate and desperate. It slashed prices on the Model 3 and Model Y by thousands. That hurt, not just financially, but reputationally. Tesla had spent years building itself as a premium brand. Price drops like these sent a different message: panic. And for existing Tesla owners, it was a betrayal. Cars they had paid $45,000 for were suddenly worth $35,000. Resale values tanked. Loyalty wavered. But Toyota didn't stop with price. They backed it up with scale. Their production systems were ready. Their supply chains optimized. This was not a gimmick. It was a market shift. They had the infrastructure to deliver low-cost EVs at volume, and the brand trust to sell them globally. But Elon's biggest problem wasn't competition. It was himself, the man behind the meltdown. Elon Musk once seemed unstoppable. Part visionary, part showman. But the illusion is fading fast, and what's left behind isn't brilliance. It's a ticking liability for the entire industry. It began with the Twitter takeover. In 2022, Musk shocked the tech and automotive world by acquiring the social media platform for $44 billion. Investors were blindsided. Analysts questioned the timing. And as he began purging employees, rebranding the platform as X, and posting erratic political commentary, the damage was immediate. Tesla's stock plummeted. Public sentiment shifted. Longtime fans began to distance themselves. It was no longer just about cars, it was about chaos. Musk's Twitter feed, once a tool of marketing magic, became a source of volatility. He mocked government officials, spread conspiracy theories, and joked about lawsuits. Investors didn't laugh. Many feared that the man they once saw as a bold innovator had become dangerously distracted. Tesla's quarterly earnings calls became less about strategy and more about damage control. Institutional investors began asking a simple but dangerous question: is Elon Musk still the right person to lead Tesla? The contrast with Toyota couldn't have been starker. While Elon made headlines for crude memes and rogue interviews, Toyota's leadership remained calm, steady, and nearly invisible. Koji Sato didn't court fame. He didn't build rockets or feud with journalists. He built batteries, factories, and trust. While Musk raged online, Sato focused on strategy. And as the chaos mounted, the media began drawing comparisons between the two men, one driven by ego, the other by execution. But it wasn't just image, it was culture. Tesla's internal management began to mirror Musk's unpredictability. Engineers were laid off by tweet. Teams were reorganized overnight. Employees didn't know whether they'd have jobs the next morning. And morale began to crumble. He was, in every way, the emperor with a bullhorn, but no throne. And that chaos didn't stay online. They were felt on the stock ticker. And the cracks didn't stop there. It spread globally. The global backlash begins. Once heralded as a global disruptor, Tesla is now facing a quiet but devastating rejection from the very international markets it once sought to dominate. What started as investor discomfort in the United States quickly evolved into full-blown skepticism abroad. Governments, corporations, and supply chain partners began rethinking their commitments. And as Toyota's strategy started looking increasingly attractive, a global realignment began to take shape. In Europe, regulators began questioning Tesla's sustainability claims and labor practices. Several countries slowed approvals for gigafactory expansions or shifted subsidies toward plug-in hybrids and low-emission vehicles, categories where Toyota thrives. Germany's Volkswagen doubled down on its own EV investments and started mimicking Toyota's multi-path strategy. Meanwhile, Tesla's brand, once aspirational, began losing its shine in regions where Musk's political rants created cultural tension. In Asia, the story was even more brutal. China, Tesla's second-largest market, began tightening its grip on domestic EV production, pushing companies like BYD to the front of the pack. Partnerships Tesla once relied on became more fragile. And in Japan, Tesla never managed to gain meaningful traction in the first place, partly because Toyota had already cemented its place as a national treasure. The global EV narrative began to shift. It wasn't about being first anymore. It was about being right. Tesla, once the star player, was being benched mid-season, and Toyota was stepping onto the field with a team that had been training, silently, patiently, and ruthlessly, for decades. Because once the dominoes started falling, the entire industry began to shift. How the industry turned against Tesla. The auto industry doesn't like being shown up. And for years, that's exactly what Tesla did. Mocked legacy brands, undercut their timelines, and redefined what a car company even meant. While Ford, General Motors, and Volkswagen shuffled through board meetings and regulatory filings, Elon Musk tweeted insults, unveiled wild prototypes, and shipped software updates like he was running a tech startup, not a century-old transportation empire. For a while, that approach worked. But now, Tesla's independence has become its biggest weakness. Because the rest of the industry isn't just catching up, they're closing ranks. It began slowly. Ford rolled out the Mustang Mach-E and the F-150 Lightning. Volkswagen ramped up its ID lineup. Hyundai and Kia stunned the world with the Ioniq 5 and EV6. These weren't clunky compliance cars. They were real contenders. Meanwhile, Tesla's delays, price swings, and quality control issues left consumers frustrated and competitors emboldened. But the real change wasn't in the vehicles. It was in the alliances forming behind the scenes. Toyota quietly became the center of gravity for the new automotive order. Not because it shouted the loudest, but because it made the fewest mistakes. Ford and Toyota began discussing platform sharing. Volkswagen signaled interest in Toyota's solid-state research. Even Chinese powerhouse BYD, now the world's largest EV manufacturer by volume, opened channels with Toyota engineers on joint development for sustainable battery recycling. These weren't superficial partnerships. They were strategic realignments. Automakers choosing to pool resources, unify standards, and collectively undercut Tesla's vertically integrated model. Why? Because Tesla refused to play nice. Elon's insistence on proprietary tech, exclusive networks, and dismissive rhetoric alienated potential partners. As competitors embraced collaboration, Tesla doubled down on isolation. While Toyota was inking hydrogen fuel cell partnerships in India and electrification deals in Africa, Tesla was fighting regulators, slashing prices, and burning investor goodwill. The turning point came when Tesla's refusal to adopt the combined charging system in Europe caused widespread consumer frustration. Automakers and governments alike saw it as arrogance, Tesla forcing the world to bend to its format. That incident turned whispers into warnings, and soon into action. Today, the industry is moving toward open standards, shared infrastructure, and unified battery platforms. Tesla's walled garden is being bypassed. And Elon Musk, once the face of automotive disruption, is finding himself increasingly alone on the global stage. Because this battle wasn't just about factories, it was about identity. The death of gasoline and the wrong kind of EV. It's happening faster than anyone predicted. Gasoline-powered cars are dying. Global sales are in decline. Emissions regulations are tightening. Cities are banning combustion vehicles from downtown zones. Fleet operators, from taxi companies to delivery giants, are going electric to slash costs. And countries like Norway, the Netherlands, and even China have set official dates to end the sale of internal combustion engines. The death of gasoline is no longer a theory. It's a countdown. But here's the twist. The kind of electric vehicle Elon Musk promised may die with it. Tesla built its brand on the assumption that all electric vehicles, powered by massive lithium-ion batteries, were the future. That vision required endless mining, new global supply chains, enormous charging infrastructure, and consumer patience with software bugs, range anxiety, and upfront costs. For a while it worked, but now that model is starting to buckle. Raw materials shortages are pushing up battery prices. Lithium, cobalt, and nickel are becoming harder to extract, more expensive to refine, and more politically fraught. Some analysts predict that global lithium demand will outstrip supply within 5 years. Recycling programs haven't scaled. Grid operators warn of instability, and consumers, especially in developing nations, aren't willing to wait 5 hours to refuel a car or pay for a home charger installation. Toyota saw this coming. That's why it didn't chase range supremacy or luxury gimmicks. It focused on efficiency. Smaller batteries, hybrid systems, fewer materials, lower costs. The average Toyota hybrid uses a battery 1/10 the size of a Tesla's. That means Toyota can build 10 electrified vehicles for every one Tesla, and do it without collapsing the grid or exhausting global mineral reserves. In a way, Tesla was building a bridge to a green future, but burning it while still standing on it, because while gasoline is dying, so is the dream of the one-size-fits-all, long-range, luxury EV. The world needs scalable, sustainable, flexible solutions, and Toyota built exactly that. And that left only one automaker in position to lead, the new king of cars. In the end, it wasn't the loudest company that won. It wasn't the one with the flashiest unveilings, the most viral tweets, or the biggest quarterly valuations. It was the one that planned carefully, built quietly, and never lost sight of what the world actually needed, not just what it wanted. It was Toyota. Toyota didn't try to beat Tesla at its own game. It waited for Tesla to run out of moves. While Elon promised self-driving cars in 6 months every year for a decade, Toyota delivered fuel efficiency, quality, and vehicles that didn't need a software patch every week. While Tesla's factories wobbled under demand spikes and labor drama, Toyota's production system hummed with quiet precision. Today, as solid-state batteries begin to enter the market, Toyota holds the patent portfolio, the manufacturing expertise, and the trust of consumers. Governments are working with Toyota to scale infrastructure. Investors are migrating back to steady, reliable returns. And the next generation of car buyers, they're looking for affordability, practicality, and peace of mind, not hype. Tesla lit the fire. It proved the electric vehicle was viable, desirable, and scalable. Elon Musk changed the rules, but in the end, Toyota built the house. Thanks for watching. If this gave you a new perspective, hit subscribe and drop a comment. I want to hear what you think.